Hi, I'm Daniel, I'm a sleep physician, and if you have insomnia, this channel is for you. Yesterday we talked about, of course, who had an entirely sleepless night just before starting a new job. On a comment to that episode, Chris C28 shared that used to happen a lot to him too, but now he has this Valium type medication that has lessened that a lot. In this episode, we will explore if benzodiazepine medications really help, or if it is the confidence that they instill that truly helps. Hi there, super nice to have you back. Hope you're doing really well, especially, of course, who I'm hoping was able to get through the first day of work and that things are getting back on track and that the new job works out, of course. That said, let's move to this comment from Chris here. And it's a comment on yesterday's episode 236, and I think there's a lot to talk about here. So let's jump right in. And by the way, nothing here is medical advice to anyone, just me sharing thoughts, and anyone out there has to use their own judgment to see if what I talk about is applicable to you. So let's read it. Hey Daniel, sometimes I get one of those sleepless nights, which means zero sleep, tossing and turning, feeling high pressure and nervous, excitement, and after it's irritable. It happens to me once in a while. Like for today, for instance. So then I wake up in the morning, out of bed, just resting, no sleep. I feel my eyes warm, especially when closing them, and warmth and tiredness. But for some reason, after a while, it's like the actual no sleep effect goes away and I feel just fine. But I guess it depends on the individual. But still, if I get no sleep much more, I feel very dry from within. My most sleep deprived issue was like 3 to 4 days of no sleep, but it was back then. Nowadays, I just get one sleepless night of total insomnia every now and then, so I take a type of benzo pill similar to Valium, and it seems to always sort the problem out. Unlike hypnotic pills, they don't seem to work most of the time. I used to end using them recreationally, LOL, referring to Ambien. For some reason, benzodiazepines helped me. I didn't take any last night, had zero sleep, not a wink. I also noticed that doing a certain amount of exercise, such as taking long walks, hinders the fatigue to the point of feeling okay. No immense exhaustion like early morning. Looking forward to the next upload. Hopefully I get to sleep later on. First of all, Chris, thanks so much for commenting these comments, emails, messages on other platforms. Super helpful. They're really the life of this channel. I'm super grateful for them. So again, lots to talk about here. First, a quick comment on kind of symptoms here. Tossing and turning, feeling high pressure, nervous excitement. Sounds like hyper arousal, that state when your brain is kind of in turbo mode. You're hyper aware of everything that's going on, and really almost always that is the driver of insomnia to some degree, at least. Just a comment on that hyper aroused state, and then what I wanted to jump to next was a phrase here. Where Chris described he before used to have a lot of sleepless nights, now much more rarely, and he says, I take a benzo pill similar to Valium, and it seems to always sort the problem out. I thought that phrase was really important because it signals Chris's confidence in this medication. It sounds like Chris doesn't know exactly how it works, but it always seems to sort the problem out. And the question becomes, is it really kind of the chemicals within the medication that is so helpful? Or is it the confidence that kind of knowing that it will work? So, and why is that? Why does it even matter? Well, confidence is such an important thing when it comes to sleep. When we believe that we cannot sleep, that something is wrong with us, and we don't understand why, we're very vulnerable. People that sleep well, they've never even there's no question about sleep. They know they're going to fall asleep, and they exert no effort. They have really strong sleep confidence, and that really helps them sleep. Now, the important point becomes this one: when we kind of transfer that confidence out, when we believe that there's an external thing that makes us sleep, then we are more vulnerable. I want to say this, if somebody's doing anything and it's working for them, sleeping great, that's great, don't change it. But this is still important. Even for somebody who's taking a supplement or melatonin and sleeping great, it is still important because if you are taking a supplement medication and you believe that that's making you sleep and you are sleeping good, well, that's good, but what if something changes? What if there's a stressor and you start having insomnia despite taking that supplement or medication? Or what if it just out of the blue, quote unquote, stops working? Then you're going to be inclined to look for another supplement, another medication, and then you may again have confidence in that for a while, but then that may end, and then you may end up in this position where you're kind of like constantly looking for something that is going to make you sleep, and nothing can actually make you sleep. Let's explore that for a second, because some of you may say, well, I know this person, or I know myself, when I take this, I sleep. Well, just because there's a causal kind of a timeline relationship doesn't mean that it's actually producing sleep. One kind of thought to explore that is, what if somebody took a benzodiazepine or Ambien or something let's say every 8 hours? Would they be perpetually sleeping? Not at all. In fact, studies are very consistently show that people that take sleep medication or not, or people that start taking sleep medication, let's say, the increase in sleep is either 0 or like 5-10 minutes. Like, it doesn't have any significant impact on actual measurable sleep. What happens though is that when somebody's had insomnia for a long time, has really no sleep confidence, is like stressed out, has a lot of hyperarousal, medications can kind of soothe things down, make it a little bit calmer, and then your natural sleep drive can take effect, and then that's that makes you sleep. The problem there is that it often makes you believe that it was the medication that made you sleep, but in fact it was your sleep drive. So I think a super important message for anybody that's taking a medication or supplement is, it is you that is producing that sleep. It is your inner sleep drive that is producing the sleep, and either maybe the chemicals, but mostly I think the confidence instilled by the supplement or medication, is kind of what allows your sleep drive to produce sleep. And why is this important? Because it transfers confidence back. It transfers confidence from the pill, the supplement, whatever it is, back to you. And when you have that sleep confidence, when you know that actually I'm producing the sleep myself all the time, then you're no longer vulnerable, because you know that you can sleep by yourself. So I think there's actually more to talk about in this comment. Actually, let me just briefly touch on them. Last phrase was, hopefully I get to sleep later on. I mean, of course, if you haven't slept at all, you want to sleep more. Completely understand that. Generally, when it comes to insomnia, a lot of insomnia is produced by the desire to sleep, and when we can do like kind of the CBT techniques, go to bed at this time, get up at this time, and not try to sleep, exert less effort, and not kind of like not want to sleep as much, that really helps in the long run. And just a final thing, I know I've talked a lot today, but just a final thing, I hear this all the time. People tell me in clinic that I take melatonin or this medication, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it puts me to sleep right away, sometimes it takes hours, right? And then in my mind, it is clear to me that what's happening is it depends on their sleep drive. If somebody is like, it's like they don't have a need to sleep and they take any medication, it is quote unquote not going to work. If somebody actually has a strong sleep drive, they really need to sleep, then anything can work, because it's not actually doing anything, maybe instilling some confidence, maybe making a little sedated, but it's the sleep drive, your need to sleep, that is actually the important factor. So with this said, I am gonna conclude, and please leave comments, super helpful, and you can send me email as well, daniel@insomniainsight.co, or connect with me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, I'm there as well. And I will be back on Monday. I hope all of you have a really nice weekend, and again, hope to have you back here on Monday. Until then, bye-bye.